Hey everybody, and welcome back to Dark Souls. We're going to continue on our journey. We're going to go back to the Undead Burg. In fact, the lower part of it. So, we're not going to go through the parish, though. We're going to go and take the shortcut that we have. Ah yes, these blooming clumps, the bloody, blooming, and the purple moss clumps. These things are awesome because they remove poison, bleeding, and toxic. Toxic's probably the worst offender that we have, since there's almost no resistance to it, and well, it hurts way more than poison does. We got a nice lizard there. Let's go and see if we can catch up to it quickly. If we don't catch up to him... Oh crap, that... Oh! I'm all for that. Let's do that. They do disappear, but you can just reload at the bonfire and they'll come back. So it's not too bad when they disappear. It's not like in Demon Souls. Got the leather armor, which that armor would generally be for the hunter, if we started as a hunter. I'm actually gonna make a quick detour over here, just because, well, there's a body over here holding a pretty awesome shield, but also we have a Black Knight, and we know what we got to do with Black Knights. And you can see he has a halberd. This would be the only exception. To my rule of no, halberds suck. Forgot how much the halberd is a pain in the ass here. So I'm not gonna be fancy. I apologize for that, but I was kind of hoping we'd get his halberd on that. But basically, it's probably the single best weapon in the game, outside of the Zweihander, which we haven't gotten just yet. Alright, and over in here, we have another bonfire that leads to the Valley of the Drakes, which we saw in the very first episode. Again, it's not really much of a shortcut. It's, again, the drakes are just a pain in the ass to fight, and more often than not, it's just not even worth dealing with their bullshit. This area might start to look familiar, for those that seen the Havel bonus fight. This is, well, the bottom of the watchtower. We're wearing the Wolf's Ring, that's why I was able to take that strike without staggering. The only downside to the Black Knight sword really is how slow the strong attack is. see. Yeah, he's still there. I forgot which trigger makes him move from one area to the next, and do apologize for that. There's no way we could have jumped down there without taking copious amounts of damage. As you can see, everything just sort of leads to the other. My hope is that they're not actually going to follow me. That's going to be really bad, especially if all the dogs decide to start chasing us, and we only had one, thankfully. Considering the large swinging radius of our Black Knight sword, we really want to make sure we stay away from walls as much as possible.
Somebody! Please let me out of here. Somebody! Anybody! Help me! Unlock the door! Damn, I'm finished. How did this ever happen?
And this is actually why we got the residence key, because we were not able to open it with our own master key.
Brilliant. You opened the door for me. Thank you. I'm saved. I thought I might never escape. I am Griggs of Vinheim, a sorcerer of the school. I am much obliged for your assistance. Thanks to you, I may now resume my travels. Oh, hello. I'm fine. I will rest a while, then return to Firelink Shrine. I have my sorcery, and I will be more cautious next time. Besides, I have an important task at hand.
He would have actually... I do believe he does eventually get out of Firelink, or get back to Firelink without our help. But, you know, if we want to get a free catalyst as well as the sorcerer's weapons, it's for the best that we I hate the fire dredgelings so much just because of the way their attacks work. If I could find... That's the one that I don't like. That thing can get you into a stagger stun, which, as we know, is just going to pretty much decimate our health. If I remember correctly, there's a way for us to... There's one. There's two. And there's three. This is one of many ambushes that thieves will do down here in the lower burg. Oh, we got the mail breaker, which is a fairly decent dagger because it has thrusting potential. Though the bandit knife would be our best bet. Alright, and generally it's not easy getting to kill these guys one at a time because of all three. And they love to do parries and riposte of you constantly. Oh, and we got the bandit's knife. How lucky are we? It's probably one of the best knives in the game. Outside of the fact that it does bleeding damage, it's extremely fast. Does almost no damage to, or no, it takes almost no stamina to use. I'm not sure where that dog came from. It's kind of weird. Alright, we got the bandit set, or well, the thieves set, really. It has a lot more defense. Actually, strangely enough, less poison resist than our Pyromancer set. And oh, nice. If we had faith, if we used any faith skills whatsoever, that right there would be able to power up or replenish one of our faith spells. I'm really glad that I was able to see it, but those things come so rarely, it's almost not even worth it. Again, their attacks just come out so fast and so hard that it's just not really worth trying to parry them. Alright, let's fight the Capra Demon, though. Well, let's find where I put my claymore. There we go. There's where my claymore is. I don't want the... As much as I want the Capra Demon to die, really fast, it's best to show him off kind of in his whole... What's the word I wish to use? His whole annoying side of him. If I were to use the Black Knight sword, it would be over almost instantaneously. I'm not saying that the claymore is going to not make short work of him, but this at least has given us the ability to... Oh, by the way, there's a merchant back there. We'll talk to her later. But this has the ability to at least allow us to show a little bit more of both the Capra Demon's attacks as well as the whole concept behind it. Well then, let's go pump ourselves up and fight the demon. Want to dodge that attack because that hit that will stagger very easily. If we can. That's what I was expecting. Here's a thing that most people tend to do the plunging attack on the Capra. We can't actually parry any of his attacks. Well, I mean, we could in theory, but it doesn't actually do the parry animation, and we can't riposte them. And that's why we need to dodge that attack. I want him to show off just a little more of his attacks than just his one-handed strikes. Okay, that is unblockable. Don't need to even bother because, well, that's just gonna... You're just gonna find out the hard way that just takes off way too much health. A lot of people don't like the Capra Demon for the dogs, and That's a pretty safe bet because the dogs do bleeding, they stagger, and they'll leave the Capra Demon able to hit you without very much effort on his part. And we got the key to the depths. I was kind of hoping for his weapon, but that's okay. There's plenty of other times to get the Capra Demon's weapon. Now that we've finally shown off the Capra Demon in all of his not really hard, like him fighting a Capra Demon by himself is pretty much the easiest thing we can do. It's just when they're bundled up with all their friends. That's when we get to the real obnoxious part of that fight. With the Wolf's Ring, it definitely makes it a lot easier. I mean, our Thieves set doesn't really give us poise. In fact, I could have probably equipped the Elite Armor set, Elite Knight Armor set, and we would have been good without the ring. The problem mostly I see with the Black Knight's sword is the little flare at the end. It's almost kind of like how Link puts his sword away. I think they did that initially in Smash Brothers, and then they added that into Twilight Princess. But that's for another game. Again, the higher ground for us is almost never going to be the best ground we have. Oh crap, this is what I was actually afraid of. I didn't want the butcher to be turning aggressive on us either. Not with the dog. The butcher seems to be lost. Alright, that was the exact opposite of what I was hoping would happen. I hate the butcher's attacks because I don't get to fight them very often, and so it's generally harder for me to read their attacks. That one's unblockable, as you very well may have seen initially, but they can be parried and riposted fairly easily. And we have a large ember. This is going to be great for us to in the future, for us to get some nice upgrades, especially for divine weapons. I do believe you need a plus 10 weapon to eventually get it into divine status. Let's explore this area a little later. What I want to do is to come down here, and as you can see, there's a body over on the other side. So we want to go around this way because there is no ledge on the opposite side. the spider shield. It has a 100% block to poison and toxic, which is going to be extremely useful. In fact, let's go and equip it now. This giant rat. Let's take care of it. We always get a guaranteed humanity off of the giant rat. It is the only one in the game, sadly, but it's not really what I would consider an interesting enemy. It has pretty much the same attacks as the normal rats. But since we got that sewer key though, what we're gonna want to do is slide down here to the left, and we're gonna open up the shortcut. But first and foremost, let's just take care of the slime. We could actually go and fight the boss that's down here right away, but first and foremost, what I want us to do is to get, well, let's get the bonfire ready, and we'll explore it on the next update. And as you can see, up top here, there's a lot of slime just waiting for us to run by. They will latch on to you and reduce your health by quite a bit. Alright, so let's go and activate this bonfire. You know what? We're gonna go and call it an episode, at least for now. I want to thank you all again for joining us on this episode of Dark Souls, and we'll see you in the next update.